Morning, guys. I think we've got most people in now. Um, so to start us off, first of all, a big thanks for joining. I want you to introduce those that don't know. This is Anthony, Dr. Anthony Ross, over in Australia. If you give everyone a wave, Anthony.
Hi, guys.
Um, and then we've got Mike Kelly, who's the head of strength and conditioning at SotoTennis, who was here as well with the beard.
Hi, guys.
What I'm going to do, I've got a little presentation, so I'm going to share my screen in a minute, and I'll take you guys through that presentation, just to give you guys. I guess the whole idea today is to give you as much information as we can. There's going to be some that are players that are looking at this program, and then some that are coaches that are looking at this program for their players. So it's, I guess, slightly different concepts for both of you. After we've taken questions, gone through the presentation, and given the general information, what I'll then do is I'll then take people, the players off the webinar, and then have 10 players with the coaches at the end as well. If that makes sense. I don't plan on keeping you guys too long, so I'll get straight to it. In terms of, hopefully you can all now see my screen. If you can't see my screen, just let me know, and I can quite easily fix that. So as we're looking at, obviously, so SotoTennis Academy and Mentally Tough Tennis, we work very closely with Anthony at Mentally Tough Tennis, and have done for a couple of years. This is a program that we've been running with our players at the academy for the last few weeks, and it's what we've called it. We can do virtually everything. A little bit of a play on words. I apologise for those that find it a bit cheesy, but yeah, we feel like there's lots we can do at this moment, in obviously doing lots of these things online. The first thing for me to say, I hope you are all well. I'm sure, as with all of us in the world currently, whether directly or indirectly, we are dealing with this crazy pandemic that's going around. So our thoughts go to all of you that are dealing with difficult times right now, and yeah, we hope that this program will be one of the positives to come out of it for you. So why we set the program up is very much for us. It's been a really big success for our players, and it's kept them fully engaged, and not just engaged, but really developed them over the last few weeks. Developed them on the mental side and becoming much mentally fitter. We're seeing big improvements on the physical side. And then one of the big bits of feedback that we're getting from all of our players is how much they feel that they're developing their minds and understanding of their own games on the tactical side. So when we looked at it, we thought, we wanted to give this learning opportunity. We believe it's a really strong program, and give this learning opportunity for other players and coaches out there that maybe aren't in a position where they have the resource to bring together an online program like this. Some people are working on their own, they're working in small groups, and we know how much work goes into bringing this together, and it's not accessible for everybody, so we want to make it more accessible. And then lastly, which I'll speak to the coaches about at the end, it is difficult times financially for everybody, and people are struggling in their own businesses. So we want to give them the opportunity to continue earning during this difficult time as well. So that's our real kind of purpose and motivation for this. In terms of an opportunity for players, I genuinely believe it's a one-off opportunity to get this level of learning from such experts in this field. To be able to have Anthony and all the amazing work that he's doing, from then, the coaches that have brought this content together that are genuinely world-class coaches, to then Mike and his team on the physical side, to get that all for as little as €6 a day, up to 3 to 4 hours of work. And also there's going to be, as I'll talk about in a little bit, there's going to be a personalized manner to this program as well. It really is a fantastic opportunity. The mindset shift is for them to realize what you can do during this period. I think we naturally think of what we can't do, but what can we do? And there's a lot of things that we can do, during this period. Pretty much the only thing we can't do is hit tennis balls over the net as such, but even in our confined spaces, we can do a lot of skill work, a lot of technical work. We can have the racket in the hand, and then all of the other areas can very much be worked on at this time, to develop all the different aspects of the game. Like I said, this is very much an integrated program that we're proud of. And then learning from some of the best in the game in the 4 different performance factors, the mental, physical, tactical, and technical sides. So the program itself, what we've done, and we've spent time researching this, speaking to lots of coaches, speaking to lots of players. We don't want people to look at this and go, "Oh, SotoTennis International Tennis Academy, that's not going to be suitable for the players that I'm working with." This is not about just setting the course up for professional tennis players. So what we've done is we've worked hard to bring together first level package, which we're calling the futures level package. And this is very much suitable for 11 and under club and school players. So giving them, lots of introduction to many of the different aspects on the mental side. On the physical side, obviously there's going to be a lot more of the fun element to that, but they're going to be working hard whilst doing a lot of the fundamental work. And Mike and Anthony will jump in a little bit to let you know a little bit more about that. And then the way that we're looking at that is everything's tennis, and from lots of fun ways to get them to learn how to score better, to getting them to understand equipment, the rules of the game, understanding the areas of the game, starting to introduce, getting them to think in a tactical way. But that really is suitable for anyone that is running clubs, anyone that's running school programs. It's a really high quality program for that. We've then got the challenger level package, which again, similar to the futures level, it's for the mass players that are at your clubs and even on school programs, from 12 to 18 years old. So obviously they're going to have a little bit more understanding, and it's going to be put at that slightly different level for the age. And then lastly, the tour package, which is very much what the majority of the players have been doing at the academy already. And we've got 12, 13-year-olds up to our professional tennis players that have been doing this program and reporting back very successfully on it. And we also believe that program is suitable for anyone that's got any adult club players, that you want to continue engaging with them, giving them some really strong content to get their teeth into over the next few weeks as well. So that's the program. The way that it's going to work, we're going to start it on Monday, April the 27th. Depending on the demand, obviously it's a 21-day program, so we will look into the possibilities of that then starting another one the following Monday. But for you guys that are on the program right now, on the webinar right now, we would be looking to start this next Monday. Anybody that wants to reach out, that has anyone that they think might want to join a little bit later, or once they see the program in action, word starts to spread, then please do reach out to us, because this can be an ongoing thing over the next few weeks. At any point, guys, if you do have any questions, just drop them in on the bottom. Boys, if we keep checking and seeing if any questions come in, and then we can answer questions. There will also be time for question and answer at the end as well. So yeah, to give you a little tour of the online academy, I originally was going to do a link and start, and I thought that's too much for technology to take in times like this. And before you know it, you're waiting for 5 minutes for me to faff around with a link. So what I've done is I've taken screenshots. So as you'll see in the top, that's the URL. So if you're a player signing up to this, I'll talk to you coaches about this later. If you're a player signing up to this, this is where you would go, and we'll be making that link available after the course. But you would go to here, and you would land on this page, and from there, pretty self-explanatory. You would go to sign up. One thing that's really important to understand: there is a free 2-day trial. You're not giving any credit card details. You're not giving any details at all at this point. This is just it's a complete free service at this point, where you can go on. You can look at the first couple of days. You can go through the first couple of days of content and see if this is something that you believe is for you over the next 21 days. So from there, it would take you to here. Very simple process. Just putting your email address in, password, ticking a couple of boxes, and then you're through. And you're through onto this area. What we've done right now, just for the purpose of this webinar, this is where you're now signed up to SotoTennis's classrooms. And from here, we will have the different courses available. Now, you will see the different levels of courses available over the next 24 hours. So you'd be able to sign up for the Futures package if that was suitable for you, the Challenger level package, or the Tour level package for the 2-day trial. Yeah. What you will then see after the 2-day trial, you will then have the paid version, which is the 21-day package, which will go into this area as well. So really easy to navigate. You would then click on this area here, and that'll then send you through into you're now into your 2-day trial. So it really doesn't get much more simple. This would be an example of how the curriculum would then look. And the way that the program works is you have to complete one section to then open up the next section. Just as it's a nice little accountability way of you going through your daily role. We're not trying to get people to sign up to this to not do it. So I'm sure none of you players out there will be wanting to just sign up to this and then just skip each of the areas. So then, to give you a bit of an idea, once you then go in, sorry about my ugly face on this picture, but you would then go through. This would be the introduction page. You get to listen to me introduce you to the program, and I give you lots of smiles. From there, give a little bit of an idea of the program, and then to give an example of how it would look in terms of a timetable and your scheduling for the 21 days. This is a nice little thing for the players to look at, so they can see in advance what each day is going to look like. So that will be available with the introduction as well. So yeah, as you can see, it's very extensive. We're looking at 3 physical sessions a day, mental preparation sessions, tactical sessions, skills sessions, technical sessions. Then we're setting different projects each week for the players. So that's something that they can go away and really get their teeth stuck into as well. And like I said, it really has worked well. What we're going to do on a Sunday, it says day off here, but that will actually change slightly in terms of on the Sunday we're going to be setting active rest and giving some examples on what people will do on a Sunday to active rest. And then what we're also going to be running is we're going to be running a Zoom call, a webinar call like this, where everybody who's on the program has access to us to be able to come on and any questions that you have, anything that you've maybe been struggling with during the week, any personal questions that you might have on the program. And that's a great opportunity for us to make this a little bit more interactive. And then also we then suggest that the Sunday is used to catch up with any sessions that are missed. So it really is kind of providing that nice extensive program, and people can go into as much detail as they want. For some players, they can go into mass detail, and for some, they might choose to not go into as much detail. And that's up to you as coaches how well you and how much you want to monitor that. This would then be how, just a bit of an example of a physical program. So as you see here, this would then click through to, it's almost like you've got your own personal trainer with you. So then one of the guys will be in there. They'll be doing the session and talking you through to make sure your form's very good with the exercises, all very much, interactive, and being able to stay on top of how you're doing it. So as you can see on here, just very simple. Just you would click on them and they would open up. And then I think we've got another pretty face coming up here. There he is, Dr. Ross. And absolutely, like I say, world class program that Anthony runs. I couldn't recommend it anymore. And Anthony's got some fantastic sessions for the players to get involved in, and they will all be set relevant to the age and level within the packages. So hopefully, as you can see, it's a nice program. It comes. I think there's a lot of detail on there. There's a lot of top class work that has gone into it. If I go now into, very quickly, sorry. To show you, just 1 second, I'm going to go back to the boys in a minute. On the app, just to give you a little bit of a live example on the app of how it looks just visually on the app on the phone. So as you see here, we're clicking through. We've got the different days set up. Very simple to use. You click through. I think on this one, I click through to a tactical session. With the tactical session, I'll let James do his thing.
Hi everyone, James Boswell here from SotoTennis. So your first
So you'll be getting then instructional videos all the way through, and then worksheets to go with. But very, very easy for players to use and to stay on top of. Lots of information that's being given, and not just given in writing form, but lots of videos to go through as well. You've heard my voice a lot. At this point, I want to introduce you to some of the team, and hand you over first to Dr. Anthony Ross.
Thanks, Dan. Great to be here, guys. And great. Really excited to be part of this opportunity for the remote learning program. Regarding the mental component to the program, as Dan said, we've been running the mental components as part of the Soto online program for the last month or so. And as Dan said, that's gone really well. And the other thing that we've been doing at Mentally Tough Tennis, we have split what we've been calling a 28-day challenge into age groups of 12 plus, and we've also had a 7 to 11 age group running really successfully. So it has been a great experience so far. So with regards to this program, for the 12 and over group, we'll be having 3 short sessions per week, I believe. So it'll be about 20 minutes per week over the 3 weeks. So about 9 sessions throughout the 3 weeks. And for the 7 to 11 year age group, we will have 2 per week. And as Dan said, they're all set up to be age and skill relevant, and using learning that we've been doing it at it a long time now, and worked a lot with kids starting out to all standards basically of players of all ages. So we're pretty experienced in terms of the way we communicate the ideas with the mental aspects of the game. That can be a big challenge for many coaches, is the communication to players to be able to help them understand and engage in the ideas. So pretty confident that we'll be delivering activities that kids will understand and engage with, or adult players, as Dan said. We've got plenty of adult players who are engaging in our current programs as well. So in terms of the content, so we basically, the type of sessions will be about 5 different focuses. So we do like motivational ones to help players connect with the purpose and increase motivation. We do attentional control sessions to improve concentration. We do some creative visualization stuff. We do what we call committed action. So this is helping players to get the hang of a basic process that will increase their ability to commit to helpful actions that increase the chance of success when they're playing. And we do that with pretty cool like off-court racket and ball activities often, which will be very relatable to what they're doing in match play. And emotional fitness is the last one. So these are really important activities and skills to help players learn to respond better to the difficult thoughts and feelings that frequently show up as we compete. So they're the 5 basic categories of sessions that players will be doing. Dan, I don't know if there's anything else. Is that?
No, that's great. And just at that point, I want to jump in actually, Anthony, and just say, one thing we are conscious on with this program, there's lots of the schools have tended to take over a lot of screen time. The schools are throwing a lot of online work for kids out there, and which we massively appreciate. So in making this program, one of our thought process has been, yes, of course, there's going to be some work that's done on the computers, on the screens, but as much as anything else, we're also trying to get the kids active with a lot of this work, and even like you're saying there, Anthony, on the mental side, especially with the younger ones, using racket and ball as well. And it's, really trying to engage people, get them moving lots, get them in a really good place, rather than just staring at a screen all day. And I think that's important that's recognised. And then hand you over to Mike Kelly, our head strength and conditioning coach. Over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Dan. I think, again, just picking up on your point, I think from a physical point of view, we've structured for the Soto players over the last month or so, 3 sessions a week. So we always start off with a morning mobility session, then we have a main focus for the day, and then we finish off with a bit of a relaxation, a bit of a reflection at the end of the day. The morning mobility work is whether you're going to be sitting at your computer all day doing homeschooling, whether you're actually working from home. It just puts you in such a good place to get out of bed, to actually move, and to get the joints moving through their full range, to get a little bit of endorphins flowing before you then go into your day where you might just be sitting at a computer, where you're studying, where you're watching a screen. A big part of this program is the interactive part and get people moving, get people working. So that would incorporate the start of the day. We would then have a main focus. So later on in the day, we've had a main focus for the day, whether that's mobility work, whether that's flexibility work, whether that's power, strength work, endurance work. And going back to Dan called it a cheesy outline, but it's true. It's what we can do. There's so much more that we still can do within this time, and the amount of progress that we've seen our players make from a physical point of view over this 4 to 6 week period has been huge. So in terms of these main sessions, we select different attributes to work on and develop. And as I say, we've seen great results from that. And then to finish off the day, we've put together relaxation, flexibility, reflection work for each day, for each group of players. And again, they're tailored and targeted to the age group. So the younger ones might just spend a little bit of time just actually not having technology and just being quiet. So 3 minutes on an evening of just being in their thoughts. They don't have to do anything. They're not being entertained. They're actually thinking about their day, reflecting on their day, thinking about what they're going to do the next day, and things like that. We find are really, really beneficial, and it brings the physical and the mental together a little bit as well. At the start of the program, we'll take some baselines for each player that's on. Again, depending on the package, you'll get a different set of baselines, which are just where you're at the moment. You're not competing with the best player on the program or the worst player on the program. You're competing with yourself. You're trying to develop yourself. So this gives us a chance to find out where you are. and then your journey through that 21 days and hopefully more than that, to see where you can get to and the areas that you can improve. I think from a physical point of view, this time for S&C coaches is a chance to be a little bit selfish and enjoy the time that players are not spending as much time on court. We've got an opportunity to really develop physical attributes within all of our players, and all the players that sign up to the program. But if there's anything else anybody wants to know, just drop a message into the chat. But other than that, Dan, I don't think there's much else I wanted to say.
Yeah, before I move on, the other thing I'd jump in on that, I'm a parent as well as well, a few things, but my kids who would come under the Futures package, they've been fortunate enough to be given a lot of the work that Mike and Luke have been sending over the last few weeks. And the one thing that I would say with it, it's extremely engaging for the younger players, but it's also a great way for families to get together. And myself and my wife have been doing it with the kids, and a lot of it, we just feel that we're having fun and doing different things, and you come out of it and you've been in lots of different positions and movements and fundamental positions, and you can feel it. You're working, but you're doing it in a fun way. And I think during this time, and I think I'm speaking directly to coaches here that are going to be speaking and maybe adding value to their program by getting players involved in this. I think that's an important point. And to bring families together and be doing some form of exercise at this time is a real positive. So no, that's great, guys. I'm gonna share back. Often when I share back, sorry, I've not fully worked out this technology. It does this every time on the screen. So yeah, so from there, we've got that. We've gone through that. How it's going to be priced up, and this is obviously important for you all, but this is for players. There is going to be a 2-day free trial. We're going to be putting out there that there's a link, which again I can give anybody. If anybody contacts me straight after this, I can give you the link immediately, and you can sign up to that. But we'll be sending that out to you afterwards as well. We'll be sending an email out to you all that are on this webinar after this with the links as well. So that the 2-day free trial, and then it'll be €125 then for the 21 days, which works out at less than €6 a day. The value of that is incredible. We feel like we're giving it away a little bit, but we also feel that that's what should be happening during this time. That people should be getting these quality programs for a lot less money than they would normally cost. And I think as a tennis community, we need to stick together with that. In terms of any players that are on the chat right now, before I move into the coach part of this session, is there any questions from players that are looking themselves to sign up? I know there's a couple of players that are on here because they're also looking at this potentially as an opportunity to work with some coaches in their area. But is there any questions from any players and parents that are on here right now? If there is, can you guys see what have I done here? I don't think there is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on with the next part. If there's anybody, like I say, if there is players and parents that are on now would be a good time for you guys to move on. You don't need to have to deal with the stuff we're going to be speaking to the coaches about. And coaches, what I would like to speak to you guys about is the opportunity that I believe that this sets for you guys as coaches. First big thing that I would say is thank you for coming on today. I think the fact that you guys have come on to the webinar already shows that you're open-minded to these sort of things. The first real benefit that I see, and what we're going to put out there, is if coaches sign up 5 players or more, then you will also get to be part of the course. And in doing so, it is fantastic personal development for you guys, and gives you some amazing content and ideas, and I do genuinely believe that you'll learn a lot from the brilliant things the guys have brought together. And I think that's important that we stress that. The second thing is ultimately having happy players and clients. I've spoken to a lot of coaches over the last few weeks who just aren't in the position to be providing their players and engaging their players with the level of content that they want. And obviously there's the danger of potentially then losing those players in future, or it's also very difficult to be providing value for them. So this work is in place, and we believe that this course can do that for you, at a relatively cheap price. And then the way that we're then going to look at it is, and how it will work. Anybody that's then interested in this as an opportunity as a coach for your players, there's a couple of things that I want to talk to you guys about. One is the commission-based way of working. How that will work is you will get if you contact me at Dan, D-A-N, at SotoTennis.com, so DAN at SotoTennis.com after this, then what we will do is we would set up your own unique link that you would then be able to share with your players. And how that would work is every time a player of yours signed up for the program, automatically 30% of that would then go to your bank account. So there's no messing around. There's no, you owe me this money and who recommended who, and any of this. This is something that's going to work in a very professional manner. The 30% works out to be €37.50 per player. If you're bringing 20 players into the program, you've got 20 happy clients, which is fantastic. You've got the CPD for yourself, and you're also then going to come away with €750 from that. I have been asked the question, how much work do I then need to do as a coach? If you don't want to, you don't need to do 1 minute's work. It's all in there. It's all being instructed by ourselves through videos and worksheets. If you wanted to run the program in the way that you had access, and then it was a way that you then engaged with your players through and added support through Zoom calls and brought people together, then absolutely the content's there for you to do that as well. But that would be very personal to how you wanted to go about it. So that's how that would then work. But then last but not least, if you are thinking that this is a product that could attract quite high numbers, if you're from a big program, we are open and we're having discussions already to the idea of branding this product as yours in partnership with STA. Now, I think we would all agree that'll come at a little bit more of a premium price, with it being everyone's work from Anthony and through the academy. But that is a way that also I understand that some people in bigger programs don't want to be perceived to be taking someone else's product. So we can brand that up in the way, and all of the pages that you've seen earlier, that could be branded up with your company and in partnership with SotoTennis. And those discussions are there to be had on how that works. But as a bit of a business proposal, I think that could be a really nice way forward for some people as well. So any coaches, that's what the best way to do it is to pick up with me from that, either to get your unique link that you're able to then start setting that up with your players. And that would be the best way to sign up, rather than signing up directly from the link that I've talked about before. And then secondly, if you would like to have a conversation with me on how this might work in more of a partnership way for your club, academy, school, whatever it might be, then we're absolutely open to those conversations as well. Boys, anything else to add in before I move and open up to questions, if people have any questions?
I don't think so.
No.
Like that's
No.
covered it all from my end.
Yeah. So in terms of questions, we've got so we've got a question about, is there room for individualization of the S&C part of the program?
Yeah, I think within the program, it's all individualized in terms of you will send in your baselines, and then you will work on improving those baselines. So in terms of contact with myself or Luke, that would be essentially a big part of the program anyway. So if you felt that for yourself or for your players, if they needed specific exercises or specific coaching on certain things, then when we receive the baselines, we can have that conversation, and we can also like review videos and things like that as well. I think what we found like massively beneficial for our players is those baseline testing, and then just what we've done with all of the exercises is created an exercise library. So when you click on the exercise, you get taken to a demonstration of the exercise. So you should know how to perform it via that video. But once you've performed it and once you've felt it, if you feel like you still need a little bit more attention and a little bit more instruction on the exercise, then absolutely we can set something up where you would send those videos through for a little bit of technical advice and things like that. That's absolutely key within this online program, I think.
Yeah, and I think to jump in on that, Mike, that's one of the big, when you're talking to players, parents on this, coaches, I think this is a massive unique selling point on it. You know, this is not just drop in, see you in 3 weeks. You know, I think the fact that this is being provided. The second thing that I would say on that question, individualized programs, yes, we all obviously have to be careful that this doesn't become too individualized, because we get to the point where this is not actually the program either. But there is also opportunities for consultancies and for individualized ways of doing that as well, if it does get to the point where people wanted really more individualized program and more face-to-face time. And you know, those are also things that we can do during this time. So please feel free to contact on us on that as well. Will all of the online work be safe for coaches to refer back to once lockdown is over? Yeah, I mean, once you've paid for the course is yours. Not necessarily in a way that everything's downloadable all the time. There's obviously going to be some worksheets that are downloadable, but for you as coaches, it's an amazing amount of content that you get to have pretty much for your life, for very little amount of money. So yes, in answer to that, once you've bought the course is yours, and all the information on the course is yours. We got one more question. Is the physical program the same for all, or is it tailored for different levels?
Yeah, I think Dan covered that a little bit. I think for the futures program, it's challenge based. It's fun exercises. I think when we go through the challenger and the tour package, it's then a little bit more specific. It's a little bit more detailed in terms of what they get. So each level will have a different set of baseline testing, and then a different program to go alongside that.
Good stuff. Is the program available to access after the 21 days? Yeah, so that's a good question. It's something that we have thought of. Is there will be, ultimately the course is a 21 day course, and the way that we're going to look at that is people will be able to join that later. You know, now whether that's going to be each Monday a new course will start, or how that might be. But obviously anyone that's engaging in it right now, we would recommend this Monday, April 27th, as the time to start. but we also are recommending people, and if you can recommend your players to do this as well online using the @SotoTennis tag, the @Mentally Tough Tennis tag, and also hashtag STA online, and getting lots of content flowing through social media, because I think there's lots we can all learn as people are putting videos out, and also then obviously more people are interested in the program. People start picking that up from you. There's then more commission that can be then made for you as a coach on that as well. So obviously, depending on demand of the program, absolutely there's going to be more opportunities to start than just next Monday. But that goes down to you a little bit.
Sorry, Dan, just to jump in on that, I think in terms of accessing the physical part of the program after 21 days, what we will do is we will take you from where you are now and progress you through the 21 days. But then if you then repeated that again, it wouldn't have the benefit that it did originally from a physical point of view. So we would then look to put a new 21-day or a new month program together in terms of a physical program that would then take you forward with progressions on the exercises or the repetitions or the timings that you've been doing on the 21-day course originally.
Yeah, and I would say that it's going to be the same on the mental side. Anthony's working all along, and there's lots of ways this can go with players. Obviously, the more individualized it becomes, then there is availability to have individualized consultancies, with all the members of the team. But there's also programs, and Anthony, if you want to jump in now as well to talk about that on the mental side.
Yeah, well, I would say the same thing at the end of the 21 days. There's plenty of room for progressions over, in the same style over a couple of months, based on the amount of content we'll be making and putting out for the 21 days.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, this is not. We obviously will we'll keep moving with this if you guys, your players, like this, and this is something that we're also looking into the possibility of this continuing as well once we're back on tennis courts. There's so many good minds here together and so much good content and so many things that we know that we can develop off the court. We're certainly not putting any ceilings on what we can all achieve with this. I think that's it for questions, guys, unless there's anybody else wants to jump in. My last thing to say is thank you for joining, and I really stress, I think I really do believe this is a great opportunity for you as coaches. I think there is lots you can learn. I think being able to provide a top quality program for your players has many benefits, as I know that you guys know. And then lastly, if we can put some money in your pockets at this difficult time as well, I think that's also really important. We're open to any discussions around things, like I say, Dan at SotoTennis.com. Get in touch with me. If you want to get in touch with Anthony on something, you can also get in touch with me, and I can put you straight in touch with Anthony as well. And the same with Mike, rather than hundreds of email addresses on this webinar. And later on today, you'll all be receiving an email with your understanding of how things work. If this is something you believe will work well for your players, then get in touch, and like I say, we would provide that unique link for you. So please do reach out, and let's change the world, guys, together. Let's get stuck in. There's lots we can do. Yeah. All right, Mike and Anthony, thank you for your time as well, guys. And
Thanks
very much.
coaches.
Yeah, stay safe, guys, and we look forward to hearing from you. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Dan.